old friend of mine I hadn't seen in like a long time, so of course it was very heavy, right? It was like so heavy, you know. So, uh, so he said, "Man, you gotta go home with us, man. You gotta go with." So I'm like, "Ugh." I'm like, "Ugh," you know. So, so I did, and the next morning they drove me out to the site, and everybody was gone. They just left me there in Florida. So I went back to the guy's house, and it was just full of girls. So I said, I'm just going to stay here for a while, you know. So I stayed there for about a month and a half, and that guy, Tommy Talton is his name. He taught me how to play open E, and that's where I started doing it. And I've been playing it. I've been playing it ever since. But I was never really able to get the chords. I was never really able to get the chords to be able to play real songs like Highway and Jesus until I moved out to Colorado in 1991. Then all of a sudden it all came together and I was able to use those. So I've been playing this thing a long time, and I tell you the truth, there are some more chords and you'll find them. Just 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 go places with it and you'll experiment. But if you start with those five or six,
Okay.
you know, then again, just use your thumb and get used to the voicing. And when you hit a clunker, you'll know that that note's not supposed to be there because it's supposed to sound very godly, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, after you sent me the Open E tuning, I tuned my guitar in Open E and showed my wife. I said, "You can play a song with one finger," and tried to get her motivated to learn a song for me. But, uh, I got to see Joe Cocker 1 year before he died. And
really,
it was so cool seeing him because I like that kind of music. I really like your kind of music. And to be able to play two of them, I play at a grocery store here in Austin, and
Austin,
I played them, and people were asking me, "Who is it? Where did you write that?" Of course. Oh yeah, sure. No, uh, but you're exactly what I want to learn to play and mix it in with. I play really hardcore country, Hank Williams, Merle Haggard, because that's what they remember.
yeah,
And
that's what people really want to hear when you hear
yeah.
country music. You don't want to hear some complicated song and all that kind of. You want to hear Hank like, "Hey, good
Oh,
looking."
sure. You can't go wrong with that, right?
I mean, that's what you want. Well, I used to come to Austin. I used to work for a publisher down there, Bill Ham. You
Okay.
know, yeah,
I've heard of him.
yeah. He was at Lone Wolf, and yeah, I wrote for him for like 12 years, and
Wow.
came to Austin a lot back in the '90s and stuff like that.
Well, you wouldn't recognize this place anymore. I'm afraid to say. I live about 20 miles south of it because Austin's just too crazy now. And with this virus thing, I was playing at a Alzheimer's center on March 1st, and we had already scheduled April and had to call it off. And I just didn't feel good about being there and infecting someone. So, and Austin's the epicenter now. So,
Well, you can. I mean, it's like I think it's probably the wildest thing that's ever happened to humanity.
yeah.
Even though it's not like a tidal wave hit the whole world, but I mean, it has absolutely stopped everything. And the last time that happened, I think there was a flood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's funny because I was just getting my act together. I had a little Fishman amp that worked perfect, and I had my little uh, monitor. I had it all worked out so I could carry it all, and I've been playing for seniors for like 25 years. But I really just got my act together, and then the virus came along and killed it. So, but we'll be back. Do you ever play? Do you ever play around this area ever?
I used to play in Austin 3 or 4 times a year, but I haven't even been to Austin now in, I guess, at least 10 or 12 years. And the live thing here in Nashville, I live right outside of Nashville, and of course the Bluebird and all that stuff. I've played that hundreds of times, but it's just too much of a hassle. Everybody's wanting to be everybody's just so aggressive, and they got really not much to say actually,
Yeah,
but they're aggressive, and they're writing stuff that's good now and all that. But to go into it, you need to be invited in, and I just don't, I don't ask for it, so I don't get it.
yeah.
I
You
don't get
know,
invited. I do like it when I do because I put the hammer down on them really hard. The person who follows me really have trouble.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I'm sure because I've watched so many of your videos and nobody's going to believe this conversation. So, but yeah, and like I said, I would have never learned any of this without the hints you've given me today. So now you've given me something to go forward with. Now that I figured out the other two, but this is going to take me places I've never been with this alternate tuning and different
I think
fingering.
it'll change the way you think about the melodic edge of the guitar. Because I've played open D and open G. They don't sound like this.
Yeah.
They're not as good. I mean, D has a certain thing, but this is the most wide open. It's more like you're playing piano chords than guitar chords. And when you learn how to really squeeze it down to where everything is even, like on the Pink album, all those, every one of those songs were cut live. Me playing, singing at the same time, no overdubs.
Wow. Was take still loving you? Are those in alternate tunings also? Take time to no. Okay.
Take Time is in D.
Okay, that's the way I learned to play it.
And then Still Loving You is in, I think it's in D.
And I play that in a standard tuning. And I sent you screenshots of how I have them in my iPad teleprompter, and I control it with a Bluetooth pedal. And I'm a one-man show, except my wife sings background vocals and on your stuff too. So it's a lot of fun. Hey, Stephen, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time with me. I'm gonna earn this time. I'm gonna learn these songs, and then I'll post them and send them to you.
Well, I tell you, it made my day, man. And I love this tuning, and not many people even want to try it. They just it's just too complicated. You see how simple it is.
Sure. Well,
Get used to it. You just got to get used to it.
You got to, I think, step outside the normal way of playing chords. Like I told my wife last night, every place I put my finger sounded good, really good.
Right.
I didn't play a bad sound at all.
That's right. If you just keep going to different places, you'll find things. I'm still finding chords. I haven't played open probably in a year. Like sit down and just like watch play.
Someone's at front door.
But that's I'm still finding chords.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
The other day, man, this one. That's like, isn't that beautiful?
And that'll kick you off to a new song, right? I mean, just playing that chord you've never heard before.
I've never heard that chord like that.
See, I've never heard that one.
And all I'm doing is I'm doing this one,
Okay.
and then I have to shift my hand and go down.
Okay.
But go down and then so it's. Isn't that great?
And I could see that going somewhere, you know? It wouldn't take much to add some words to that. Well, so you're in Nashville now?
Yeah, I'm from Nashville, and I've lived a bunch of different places, but I'm up in Kentucky now, about 100 miles from there, and I got a little farm here, and I just farm.
Well, I grew up on a farm.
I'm a song farmer.
There you. Well, you so far you've had a really good crop, and I appreciate you harvesting them. So, and
well, you got to keep watering them and everything. But yeah, I was thinking today, man. I've been a professional songwriter for 53 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm 70, and I've had my first song came out in '67, so it's 53 years ago. When I was 17, that song came out, "Take Time to Know Her," and I've never had to get a job. I always wrote songs, so pretty much had it made my whole life, man.
Well, I sure love Percy Sledge, and never heard anything better. So.
He was a great guy. He made mine. He turned my. I mean, what would have happened to me if I hadn't played that song for that guy? I didn't play it for Percy. I played it for a publisher. he said, that's a hit song. I said, well, you think? And he said, yeah. So next thing I know, they said, well, Percy Sledge is going to cut it. I'm like, what? Yeah. So like 5 weeks after I played it for him, the damn thing's on the radio.
Oh my God.
Radio in my car.
Well, oh my God, the feeling that must be, and for me, I tell you, I told my wife, I had a senior citizen center here. I'm 64, and they invited me to come sit in with them. I walked in, whole band sitting there. They said, what do you want to play? I said, a Hank Williams song. So I started playing, right now I'm having a brain fart and forgetting it. I started playing it. They immediately kicked, the steel guitar kicked in, the fiddle, everybody. And it was the most amazing thing in my life. And we did 2 more songs. And getting to do that,
going on in the front yard.
It was so cool to be able to do that. So, well, it looks like I got trouble out in my front yard. I don't know what it is. Stephen,
What?
I don't know. My wife just told me over the PA system that something's going on in my front yard.
Oh, well, then go for it. And hey, man, we can talk anytime. Just let me know.
Stephen, I'm going to make you proud. I'll learn these and post them.
I'm already proud of it.
Hey,
Thank you, buddy.
I'm calling you. I think there's something going on. I see some police lights.
Uh-oh, I got police cars in my front yard. Thank you, Stephen. Bye-bye.